Imagine this. You walk into a store with a simple mission. You need one thing, maybe a small desk lamp or a pack of hangers. You tell yourself you'll be out in 10 minutes, but as you step through those massive blue and yellow doors, something happens. Your sense of time begins to fade. 2 hours later, you find yourself in a warehouse, pushing a cart overflowing with items you never knew you needed. Scented candles, a plush shark, a set of wine glasses you'll probably never use. And here is the scary part. You feel like every single one of those purchases was your own idea. But was it? Welcome to the world of IKEA. This isn't just a furniture store. It is one of the most sophisticated psychological laboratories on the planet. A place where every turn, every light, and even the smell of Swedish meatballs is part of a grand design. A design created to bypass your logic and speak directly to your subconscious. Today, we uncover the secrets of the IKEA maze, a system built to control your behavior, one step at a time. To understand why you can't find the exit, we have to look at the man who started it all. In 1943, a 17-year-old Swedish entrepreneur named Ingvar Kamprad founded IKEA. But the IKEA we know today didn't happen by accident. In the 1950s, Kamprad realized something revolutionary. If you could keep customers inside the store longer, they would naturally spend more. Most retail stores use a grid layout. Think of your local grocery store where aisles are parallel. It's efficient. You find what you want and you leave. IKEA rejected this. They developed what architects call the long natural way. It is a single continuous path that forces you to walk through every single department before you reach the checkout. By removing your choice of where to go, IKEA takes the first step in controlling your journey. The manipulation begins the very second you walk in. Have you noticed the wide, empty space at the entrance? In retail psychology, this is called the decompression zone. When you enter from the busy parking lot, your brain is stressed. The decompression zone is designed to reset you. The lighting is soft, the temperature is perfect, and the branding is friendly. It's meant to make you drop your guard. Once you are relaxed, you are more vulnerable to suggestion. This is where you pick up that iconic yellow bag. That bag is a psychological anchor. It's big and it's empty, and your brain instinctively wants to fill it. As you move into the showroom, you aren't just looking at furniture. You are looking at stories. IKEA doesn't just display a sofa. They display a living room with a half-open book, a warm blanket, and a cup of coffee on the table. This triggers a psychological phenomenon called mental ownership. When you see a product in a realistic setting, your brain starts to simulate living there. You don't see a $500 sofa. You see a Sunday afternoon with your family. Once your brain owns the experience, it becomes much harder to walk away from the product. Research shows that touch also increases this bond. By encouraging you to sit on the beds and touch the fabrics, IKEA makes the sale before you even look at the price tag. Now we reach the most famous part of the strategy, the Gruen transfer. Named after architect Victor Gruen, this is the exact moment when a consumer loses their original intent and becomes an impulse buyer. Have you noticed that there are no windows in an IKEA? No clocks on the walls? This is intentional. By removing external cues of time and weather, IKEA creates a timeless vacuum. Your internal clock stops. You lose track of whether it's been 30 minutes or 3 hours. When you are disoriented, your brain's executive function, the part that manages budgets and logic, gets tired. And when your logic gets tired, your emotions take over. This is exactly when you start putting those extra items into your cart. But the psychology doesn't end when you leave the store. It actually follows you home. Why does IKEA make you build your own furniture? It's not just to save on shipping costs. It's a trick known as the IKEA Effect. A study by Harvard Business School found that people value products they built themselves significantly more than pre-assembled ones. When you spend 3 hours struggling with an Allen key to build a bookshelf, you aren't just building furniture. This creates a deep emotional bond. You become a loyal brand advocate because you feel a sense of pride in the finished product. You don't just have an IKEA desk, you have your desk. Let's talk about the food. Why does a furniture store sell millions of Swedish meatballs? It's called the bargain anchor. IKEA intentionally sells its food at a loss or very low profit. When you see a meal for $5 or a hot dog for $1, your brain makes a subconscious calculation. If the food is this cheap, the furniture must be a great deal too. It builds trust. Also, shopping in a maze is exhausting. By placing the restaurant in the middle of the store, IKEA ensures you refuel. A hungry shopper is a grumpy, fast shopper. A fed shopper is a happy, slow shopper. And slow shoppers spend more money. Behind the psychology is a massive machine of efficiency. IKEA uses 1% of the entire world's commercial wood supply. They have mastered flat pack logistics. By shipping furniture in flat boxes, they aren't paying to ship air. This allows them to fit 10 times more products in a single truck than their competitors. But there's a dark side to this efficiency. The pressure to keep prices low means constant pressure on global timber supplies. IKEA is a master of invisible quality. They use high-quality finishes on the outside, but the inside is often particle board and honeycomb paper. They've convinced the world that disposable furniture is a lifestyle.
As you finally approach the checkout, exhausted and ready to leave, there is one last trap: the marketplace. This is where the small, cheap items live. Batteries, lint rollers, kitchen utensils. At this point, you have decision fatigue. Your brain is too tired to say no. You think, it's only $3, and you toss it in. These small items have the highest profit margins for IKEA. By the time you walk out of those doors, you have been funneled through a system that was designed to extract the maximum amount of money from your pocket while making you feel like you won a bargain.
So the next time you walk into IKEA, look down at those arrows. Notice the lack of windows. Feel the weight of that yellow bag. Ask yourself, am I choosing this, or has the maze already chosen for me? Once you see the system, you can't unsee it. IKEA didn't just build a store. They built a mirror of human psychology. If you want to uncover more hidden truths about the giants that run our world, hit that subscribe button. This is Blueprint Noir, and we are just getting started.